Bishut Morai Rabotai, with the permission of Hashem, today I'm going to talk a little bit about the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Be'ezat Hashem next week, next Friday. It's the Hilula of Rabbi Meir and as well it's Pesach Shani. You have to know why we do Pesach Shani. The reason why we do Pesach Shani, the second Pesach, is there is another Pesach. There is only one Pesach that we celebrate on the 15th of Nisan. Why there is another Pesach? Well, the Torah said that when the Jews celebrated the sacrifice of Pesach in the desert, the first year that after the exit of the Jews from Egypt, the Torah said that if there is people who are ill and who are not pure, they are impure, or somebody that he is leprous, or somebody that he was, he was traveling and he arrived after the date of the 14th of Nisan, the day of the sacrifice of the Korban Pesach. If he's not there, so he lost it. If somebody is not pure, he cannot do it. If somebody that he did not do the Brit Milah, he cannot do the Korban Pesach. So there is conditions to do Korban Pesach. The sacrifice of Pesach, you have to be pure. You have to be in the city, and you have to be 100% pure. If you touch somebody that a dead man, you are impure. You cannot do sacrifice. You have to know something else. The sacrifice of Pesach has a big meaning. The meaning of the sacrifice of Pesach is that when the Jews were in Egypt, Hashem, he told the Jews, look, you're going to go out from Egypt. And I know that during 400 years in Egypt, you've been doing idolatry, Avodah Zarah. What the meaning of Avodah Zarah? You know, in Egypt, the Egyptians did not eat the meat. They did not kill the animals, because for them, the animals, for them, it was like God. So they honored them, they did not touch them at all. And the Jews, they started to believe on that. That's why Hashem told the Jews, look, before you leave Egypt, I don't want you that you will have in your mind that there is me and there is somebody else. There is only one, it's me. Only one God, it's me. There is no two. There is nobody else like only me. So I want you to sacrifice the sacrifice of Pesach. That means you take the animal and you kill it. You do the shechita in front of the Egyptian. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that the Jews, they risked their life to do this? Just imagine to kill an animal that the Egyptian, they respect it. For them, it's their God. You do that in front of them, and you take their blood, and you put it in the mezuzah, and then you grill it, and the smoke was all over Egypt. I mean, it's impossible to do that. Hashem said, this is the only way. Before you go out from Egypt, if you don't do that, you remain in Egypt. I will not take you. And from there, I will take you out of Egypt, and I'll give you the Torah. That means the Torah, you have to know that the Torah, it came from me. And to give you my Torah, only if you believe on me. And to believe on me, you have to kill this animal. Each family kill one animal to grill it and to eat it. That's what we call it Korban Pesach, the sacrifice of Pesach. That means the sacrifice, Pesach, from the word Passover. That means if you do the sacrifice, this sacrifice in Egypt, that means that you pass over your emunah and the God of Egypt, and you believe on me. And that condition, I will liberate you from Egypt, and then I will give you the Torah. Without this, I will not give you the Torah. And the Jews, after all what they saw in Egypt, all the miracles that they saw in Egypt, so the Jews, they said, yes, we do it. And that's what they did. And the 10th of Nisan, they took the sheep, and the 14th of Nisan, they killed the sheep, they grill it, they eat it, and the Egyptians couldn't do nothing. They were angry, but they couldn't do nothing. Then the Jews realized there is only one, is Hashem. My friend, I would like to tell you something incredible. This week, I received a letter from Montreal, a family, and I have permission. I asked him if I can say his name. He says yes, Family Benatar. He sent me a letter. He told me, Rabbi David, I promise to Hashem to tell you a story, and you can't tell this story to everybody. You have my permission. I know this gentleman, Mr. Benatar. I know him, and I remember that every time I go there, he comes to see me. So he wrote me a letter this week. He sent me his story. What was his story? That on Purim, his wife, she had a baby girl. She had a baby girl. And when it was just before one day before the Seudah of Purim, one day before Purim, and when she had the baby has a problem. He couldn't breathe well. Well, it wasn't. The doctors, they were very, very afraid. They took the baby. Even the mother, usually when a mother have a baby, they give the baby to the mother. But in that case, the baby was with no breathing. So they didn't give the baby to the mother. They took him right away somewhere where they put him under machines and to make him alive. Not God forbid, chas v'chalam, chalila, something to happen to him. So what happened? It happened that Mr. Benatar, he said, Hashem, it's Purim. The day of Purim. I don't want people to come to see me in my house, to see me sad. I want to be happy. What he did. So, of course, they took the baby, they put him in a box, and under all the treatment, to give him oxygen. And he was not well. I mean, that was, you never, even the doctors, they were a little bit pessimist, they didn't know what to do. And this gentleman, the father, he had with him the key of Rabbi Chaim Pinto. He had with him the picture of Rabbi Chaim Pinto. And he took the picture and he put it on the box where the baby, la couveuse, where the baby was inside, breathing with artificial breathing, not, God forbid, that nothing happened to him. And he put the picture and he put it on the face of the baby. And he took, a towel and he covered the box. He said, well, Hashem, Rabbi Chaim Pinto, you are inside. You look at the baby, and the baby look at you. You are both of you. Each one look at the other. Well, now I want to see the miracle. I want to see this baby alive. I want to tell the story to Rabbi David Pinto so that Rabbi David can tell this story to everybody. Please, Tzaddik, please, Hashem, I want this baby to remain alive. I want to celebrate Purim. I mean, this is emunah. I am jealous to hear people having such big emunah like that. And what he said? He said, well, after the deal that he made with Hashem, with the tzaddik, he said, well, now I'm going to take off the blanket. the towel from the box. And what he saw? The eyes of the baby opened. He went to see the doctors. The doctors came, they ran. They saw that the baby was breathing alone. He did not need artificial breathing. And of course, after a few hours, they realized him, they give him to his mother, and the story finished. This is emunah. This is emunah. So he told me, Rabbi David, you can tell my story to everybody. That was the commitment that I did with Hashem. If my baby will breathe alone, that, well, my friend, this is emunah. Now, my friend, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he wanted that the Bnei Israel, they will believe only on him. They will, when they will go out from Egypt, that they will not have any emunah on Paro, any emunah on those avodah zarah of Egypt. You know what the Rambam, you know what the Rambam said? Why Hashem he wanted us to do sacrifice? Why we have a Beit HaMikdash? Why there is sacrifice? Why we used to bring animals to the Beit HaMikdash, to the temple, and there is Kohen Gadol, and to do sacrifice? Why? You know what the Rambam said? Something incredible. Maybe you never heard this. The Rambam said, because when the Jewish people, they were in Egypt, they saw the Egyptian, the Jewish people, they saw how the Egyptian, they give glory. They build temples for their idolatries. And there is Kohanim, and there is priests. So Hashem, he told the Jews, well, what you saw in Egypt, what people do, what the Egyptians do for their gods, they build temples for them, and they do sacrifice for them, they have their own priests. So you will build me a temple only for me, Lilish me, for my name, but you cannot give glory to animals. You will kill the animals. You do sacrifice to the animals, so that you will know only me. There is only me. There is no one else in the world beside me. I am the only one. Ani Hashem. I am the only one. So, my friend, now you understand the meaning of the Korban Pesach. The meaning of Korban Pesach, it's that means too much for the Jewish people. That means emunah on Hashem. That was the last big things that they did in Egypt before they left Egypt. That was the big thing that they did, to sacrifice the God of the Egyptian. And they showed the Egyptian that their God is nothing, there is only Hashem. That's what they did. So now you understand. 1 year after, when the Jewish people, they were in the desert, and now they have to celebrate now they have to celebrate Pesach. There is some Jews that they were not pure, that they cannot do Pesach. And they came to Moshe Rabbeinu. They said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, it's not fair. It's not our fault that we were ill. We couldn't do the Korban Pesach. It's not our fault that we were impure because we touched a dead man or something that's impure, and so we couldn't do the sacrifice of Pesach. We are not. It's not our fault. If I was not, I did not do the Brit Milah because I was ill in the meantime. Now I am okay. I can do the Brit Milah. It's not fair. So please tell Hashem to give us a solution. Moshe Rabbeinu said, okay, I will ask Hashem. Because for me, there's nothing you can do. The Korban Pesach is you have to do it on time, the 14th of Nisan. And if you don't do it on 14th of Nisan, that's it. There is nothing you can do. Well, and as you know, because they did that, as I told you before, they had the zichut to be liberated from Egypt. And because of that, Hashem gave them the Torah. So that means Hashem will not give the Torah to somebody who doesn't believe on Him. Hashem will not give the Torah to somebody who believes there is another God. No. So now, my friend, the meaning of Korban Pesach is very, very important. Even now that we have no temple, we don't have Beit HaMikdash, but on Pesach we do something to remember. Zecher lePesach. We do something to remember the sacrifice of Pesach. We are not allowed to do sacrifice of Pesach today. We have no Beit HaMikdash, and besides this, we are considered that we are all impure. Only when Mashiach will come and will purify us. But we do a sign, a zecher, something to remember the Korban of Pesach. But now, at that time, the first year of Pesach, the first year of Pesach, the Jewish people, they did it in Egypt, but the second year, when they went to the desert, those who were pure, they did it. Those who were not pure, they couldn't do it. How they were impure? You know how? Because they were there, the bones of Yosef HaTzadik. When the Jewish people left Egypt, they took with them the bones of Yosef HaTzadik, and they took with them as well the bones of the Shvatim, of Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda. Each tribe took with him the bones of his parents that they were buried in Egypt. And then there were always some people that they were sitting with those bones. So that's why they were impure. Now it's not their fault. They told them you have to be next to the bones to be the mashgiach. It's not my fault. Now I am pure because of this, and the Korban Pesach mean a lot to me. I want to do it. Moshe Rabbeinu said, well, I asked Hashem. He asked Hashem, and Hashem said, okay, they are right. I give them a chance because I see that really they are sad that they couldn't do Korban Pesach, and because they were impure, it's not their fault. So I give them a compensation. I give them the 14th of Iyar. The 14th of Iyar, they can do it. A month after, the 14th of Nisan, they do the first Korban Pesach. For those who are impure, they can do it the second day or the second month. That means the month of Iyar, the 14th of Iyar, they can do it. And they will eat matzot, they will eat the maror, and they will do the sacrifice of Pesach. Just think, my friend. Just think. I mean, Hashem could tell them, well, you missed that day, that's it, finished. I mean, if you miss the plane, that's it, you missed the plane, you didn't come, that's it, you missed it. You lost your plane, you lost your appointment. I mean, this is the rules, you miss something, that's it. I mean, listen, if you don't eat today, the 3 meals, tomorrow can you eat 6 meals? No. What you miss today, you cannot. When we fast on Kippur, we don't eat 3 meals on Kippur. So the next day, do we eat 6 meals? No. What you miss. That's it. Batezmano, Batel Korbano. If you miss the time of Kriyat Shema, that's it. You missed it. Kriyat Shema in the morning, there is a timing. Tell when you can do Kriyat Shema. And if you miss the time, that's it, you missed it. There is nothing you can do. My friend, but here Hashem gives them a solution. Why? Because Hashem, he said, he saw how much the Bnei Israel, they were really very, very upset. For them, the Korban of Pesach it's a lot of things. That mean a lot. That mean emunah. That mean connection with Hashem. That mean a lot. That mean that it's a preparation for Matan Torah. There is only Hashem. My friend, how we call the Korban Pesach? We call it ha'avodah, work. Work. You know what this is work? It's labor work. You work physic. There is physic work and there is a spiritual work. And the Korban Pesach, it's a spiritual work. It's you work your emunah, you work your bitachon, that everything came from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You work for, there is only Hashem. It's a work. Can you imagine, you have the God of the Egyptian, it's the ship, that the Egyptian believe on him, this is God, and they built for him temples, and there is priests for him to serve him, and Hashem told you, oh, take this ship and sacrifice it, take the blood, put it on the mezuzah, and then you grill it, and then you eat it, and the bones you throw them. Can you imagine to do that in front of the Egyptian? They kill you. But the Jewish people, they believe in Hashem. They know that Hashem, He is the one. He will protect them from the Egyptian. He promised them. And beside this, if they don't do that, there is no Torah, there is no out of Egypt. There is nothing. So they have everything to lose. Or to win or to lose. But they had convictions. There is only Hashem. So we do what Hashem said. That's what they did. So they receive everything. If today we're here, because of our parents, what they did in Egypt. So can you imagine the people that they were impure, they didn't want to lose that kind of big emunah, building themselves. It's a avodah, it's a work, it's a spiritual work on them to believe on HaKadosh Baruch Hu by doing that. So they didn't want to lose it. Everybody is doing it. We can't do it because we are impure. So what can we do? So Hashem give a solution. The 14th of Nisan, do it again for those who are impure. And it's a Yom Tov for them, only for them. My friend, and Baruch Hashem, today, we celebrate the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes at that day. And is it a coincidence that the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes it's on Pesach Shani? Why they are both of them? Pesach Shani, it's the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. It is as well this Pesach of those people that they were impure, that now they do Korban Pesach. So all the Jews, they celebrate with them. They're happy. Well, the same way that all the Jewish people, they celebrate on Pesach, on the 14th of Nisan, Pesach. So now all the Jews celebrate with those only few people, maybe few hundred people that they were impure, that they couldn't do Korban Pesach, and because they were ill, because they were impure, because of a reason that we don't know. And now they celebrate. So all of us, we join them. We do. And those people who celebrate the second Pesach, they don't eat bread, they eat only matzah, they eat maror, and that day is the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. It's incredible. You know, my friend, Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, he is buried Omed. Usually when you buried somebody, he lay down on the floor. But Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes, they buried him standing. Things that it doesn't exist. We never did that to nobody. We're not allowed to do that. But they did it for Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes. Probably it's Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes who said so. And the rabbis, they did what he asked them to do. So the question is, why? I was thinking, why he is buried the day of Pesach Shani? They do the Hilula on Pesach Shani, and they buried him standing. Well, I saw in some books that it said, usually only when the Torah said Omed, that means tefillah, pray. That means that Rabbi Meir Baal HaNes is a special man. We call him Meir. We call him Nehorai. Nehorai is light. Meir, the Gemara said that when Rabbi Meir Baal Nes, he will talk Torah, the rabbis, they open their eyes. Lights come out from his mouth. Lights come out from his mouth. Rabbeinu HaKadosh, the one who wrote Mishnayot, he said, if I am clever, if I am what I am, because when I was sitting in the Beit HaMidrash, I was sitting behind Rabbi Meir Baal Nes, and I could see only his back. And if I was looking his face, I would be 10 times more intelligent than what I am today. So I ask a question. So why, if he knows that if he was sitting in front of him, why he will not, why he didn't do it? Because if he was sitting in front of him, that means he will be more intelligent. So why he didn't want to do it? So the answer is, if already from his back he became what he became, can you imagine that if he would sit in front of him, maybe he could not have the strength to see his face. It was hard to see his face. It's not easy to see a face of a tzaddik like a bimiman. A lot of people they cannot allow themselves to see the face of somebody. That's what Hashem said to Moshe Rabbeinu. You want to see my face? It's impossible. If you see my face, you die. So that's Hashem. But Rabbeinu HaKadosh, he said about Rabbi Meir Baal Nes, his face was so holy, so lightning, Rabbeinu Harai, light, it was not possible to see his face. And Rabbeinu HaKadosh, he wrote Mishnayot. And the Gemara said, each Mishnah, that there is no name of any rabbi. There is a lot of Mishnayot. Sometimes, and each Mishnah, there is rabbis who talk in the Mishnah. But sometimes there is Mishnayot, that there is a Stam Mishnah. Mishnayot, there is no names. There is no rabbi who talk about it. So, the Gemara said, Stam Mishnah Rabbi Meir. If there is any Mishnah with no names, that means it's Rabbi Meir who said that Mishnah. Can you imagine, the Gemara said, that when Mashiach will come, all the discussion that Rabbi Meir Baal Nes he had with his friends, and if his friends they didn't agree with him, only because they did not understand him. That's why he did not agree with them. But when Mashiach will come, and people will understand the Torah, they will understand the Torah, there will be no discussions. So those rabbis who did not agree to Rabbi Meir, so they will agree with him. That only when Mashiach will come, and the emet and the truth will be spread all over the world. My friend, Mashiach, he will come from the Kinneret. Eliyahu Navi, he will come from the Golan, and from Tiberia. And that's why Rabbi Meir is buried in Tiberia alone, standing, to be the one to welcome Mashiach coming, because he will come from there. Mitzafon Tipat Hara, from the Tzafon, from in front of, after the Kinneret, and those high mountains that you have in front, from there, Mashiach will come. From there, the war will start against Israel, and from there Mashiach will come. And Rabbi Meir is already ready. He's standing, waiting for him. My friend, now you understand the meaning of those two Hilulot that we have during this time between Pesach and Shavuot. We have the Hilula of Rabbi Meir Baal Nes, we have the Hilula of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and we have Pesach Shani, and then we have Shavuot. Pesach Shani, as we talked to you before, Pesach Shani is Emunah. All the meaning of Pesach is Emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that Hashem is the only one. He's the only God. There is nobody else beside him, only one. And of course, what is Shavuot? It's all a preparation to receive the Torah. To believe in Hashem, to receive the Torah that Hashem He wants to give you. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us two big tzaddikim, and they meet them to help us, to prepare ourselves to receive the Torah. Rabbi Meir, he represents all the Torah Shibichtav, all the Torah that we have today. And Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai to help us to understand the Torah Shebe'al Peh, the secret of the Torah. We need both of them. We need the Torah and we need the secret of the Torah. We need both of them. So, as you know, the death of the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, what they are doing here between Pesach and Shavuot, we're here to teach you that to receive the Torah, to believe in Hashem, don't forget your friend. Respect your friend. Honor your friend. You don't respect your friend, you don't honor your friend that Hashem created him. There is somebody today from Argentina. He asked me a question. He said, Rabbi, how can we be good people? This is a question he asked me. I told him, first, be good to yourself. If you are good to yourself, you can be good with other people. But if you are not good to yourself, how can you be good with other people? To be good with other people, be good with yourself. Honor yourself. Respect yourself. If you respect yourself, you honor yourself, you can honor the others. My friend, all the Hashem, it was easy for him when the Jews left Egypt to be pure. But Hashem, he did not purify the Jews when they left Egypt. They were in 49 degrees of impurity. Why? Because Hashem wanted them to work on themselves, the avodah, to work their emunah, to work their anger, to work their jealousy, to work. It's not miracle to be a good person. You have to work to be a good person. I mean, when you're born, you are not billionaire, you are poor, you have nothing. So you work to have something, to become something. So to be a tzaddik, to receive the Torah, you have to work. So Hashem, He give us a work, a homework. A homework. My body is my home. Is in my body I live. So Hashem give me a homework. What kind of homework He give me? Work the anger, work my emunah. So Hashem help me. When Hashem see that you want to be, so Hashem help you. But if Hashem he see that you don't care, so He will not help you. So Be'ez Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us the Hilulot of two big tzaddikim to help ourselves from a good homework, to become good Jew with emunah on Hashem, help the others, help yourself, and of course, and study Torah, respect Torah, and of course as well, to try to understand the secret of the Torah. And then HaKadosh Baruch Hu, when you see that you've done all this homework, so He will give you the Torah. Hashem bless you. Toda Rabbi.